Great morning. Oh my goodness. Another day. So let's go ahead and we'll just look and see what's going on. We're going to start here this morning with an open read. Just see what it's going to point us in the direction this morning. Take a look-see. The insanity that's going on, I'm telling you. Just crazy. Let's give these a good ruffle shuffle. Okay, so the first thing out is about tower moment. Okay, so the tower can sometimes be government. It could be you're in your ivory tower protection, or we also know what the other tower can be. But let's look and see what it says here. Separation. Okay. So feeling separated. So I would say in this sense it was probably having to do with the government and their policies about separating families, etc., not giving a rat's ass about anyone. It's about the energy coming into it is about a message. The arrogance, the arrogance of the message. And I would say this is probably having to do with the, the ice. And who the heck are these guys in the masks? Now, a lot of people are suspecting they're January 6th Proud Boys, those things. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt that in the least. But again, that arrogance that they have of the message of just separating people and not caring. Yeah, it comes from the White House. That's not a surprise that comes up, is it? When it comes to the White House, waking up, okay? Needing to wake up. Now, we also saw things going on with the Afrikaners that he's bringing in, okay? They're all pissed off because they have to speak English. That's just too much. That's too much for us. We shouldn't have to. Anyway, it's about the challenges, the storylines that he's putting out. The storylines need to focusing, seeing through, getting some wisdom as to what is taking place in the White House. Are they going to wake up or are they not? We need to focus for clarity. When it comes to the men, let's see what it says. What's being birthed? Focusing on the storylines, the things that they're doing, what they're birthing. Waking up to the drama and extra information being eaten away when it comes to these men and the drama that they're doing. Perfection. Okay. Perfection. Perfection. eating away at perfection with what's being birthed. These men are being eaten away at. The White House promises waking up this separation and arrogance by the government with the message they're putting out, focusing on what they're trying to birth, seeing this as a perfection, but we have the storyline being put out that's being eaten away. Okay, I want to do a clarification read, okay? Because this is very, feeling very kind of generalized with what they're doing when it comes to deportations and the drama and the ones that they have over there. You know, they wear their masks. They won't say who they are. They won't say what agency they're with. So again, this is feeling very, very just general. It's not really giving us, I'm not getting a real good handle on this morning. So let's see if it's going to tell us any more clarification. At the center of it all, it's feeling the crisis. Well, I agree with the crisis with these ones. You know, just it's overkill, overflowing. We can't hold anymore. Okay? It's like the storm. The storm is hit and the crisis. Now, again, I keep coming back to the woman from Australia that got sent back to Australia that's married to an American soldier. She just had tattoos. I mean, they weren't anything. They were just, you know, like a henna. When you get henna done, something, it was that type of a tattoo. That's it. And they barred her from the U.S. So it's reaching a crisis point when it comes to these fools that are really overreaching their power, is what it looks like. So let's see what we have. Yeah, what's being shared, okay? This coming together with what's being shared when it comes to this crisis point and needing to get honest that this is a crisis point. It cannot keep going like this with these ones overstepping their bounds. So it's about what's being consumed now when it comes to the things being shared. The blame, they want to put out this blame, restrictions, okay? We need to look at the blame game when this, and their privilege, okay? This drama of wanting, you know, only the wealthy in here is what it is. You know, if you got $5 million, you can buy the gold ticket and come in, okay? These white Afrikanis, they let them come in. And just the thing that Trumpenstein was showing, oh, these Africans, they're all being killed, all of these white, well, it wasn't. Apparently what he was showing was something from the Congo. Had nothing to do with South Africa, okay? So just that stupidity, the disappointment, again, with what's being consumed, what's being shared, about barring people from coming in. This is the overload now that people are feeling, getting honest with it about playing this blame game and just railroading people. And it's about integrity. The crisis of integrity is come up now, okay? When it comes to this lack of integrity by the wealthy, okay? So it's the spontaneity, the things that are happening, coming out rapidly, the other side of it, having understanding about what they're doing, needing to refresh the system, and that having that absolute resistance to allowing people in to the country if they're not wealthy, white-bread men, okay? So we need to understand and stand for the harmony, for liberation, for respect, and countering and, putting out about their deceptions that they're doing. We need to go forward with intention and doing this labor, a labor of love, okay? We need to bring these things in because we are reaching a turning point when it comes to these departures that they're doing. And so we need to, again, come to a new beginning when it comes to this stuff. So we need to continue to fight and have understanding about their resistance, that this is the wealthy trying to just take over the country. They're getting rid of people of color, okay? And these fools need to, and again, we need to be spontaneous and refreshing this, continuing to out it, continuing to stand for change when it comes to this nonsense of this crisis, and go forward with it. Now I'm going to pull the tarot with this. We're going to pull the tarot. Yeah, I'm going to do this one. And we're going to do the 18 card and just see what it says, what kind of information it can give us more on this, about these deportations and these, the heinous things that they're doing. You can't continue to get rid and bar people and then want to just have these old white bread men coming in. What are they going to do for anything? Nothing. You want to get rid of the workers. You want to get rid of anybody that's going to have any kind of opposition to Trumpenstein and his, wanting to put in some fascist regime. But now when they do things like they did with this woman in Hawaii, this is something that they can't squirm away from, okay? I think things like this is going to hit them in the face, but let's see what the cards have to say with this. Okay, so what's pushing the reading is about, he wants the good life. He only wants those of wealth coming in. Okay? And so this is the struggle that people are having now with this, the fight that's going on, the continued effort that we need to put in place for justice. We need to stand for justice, okay? And we need to do this rapidly because there is a lot of concern with what's being done by these elements, these border people and these masked men that are overstepping their bounds. So this is about the White House, okay? The White House a message coming out, more message of information, of truth. And this uncaring, this thing that this guy, okay, he's mental decline. In mental decline when it comes to the messages from the White House. In other words, he's not balanced. And we know that most of the messages of this type are coming from, guess who? The Jewish Nazi. Okay, so the energy coming into it, there is a fight with this now. A struggle when it comes to what they're doing, about people wanting to take power, hold on to their power, going forward. And again, we see that this for him is all about the monetary thing, his stupidity when it comes to tariffs or it comes to the monetary thing. It's all about his greed, his lack of knowledge, his greed, and stupidity. Okay? So we have the message being put out. We have the false messages being put out by Trumpenstein with what's being shared. People are sharing and saying we need to stand up. And we've got the evidence in hand about his greed and about also his mental decline. Okay? The challenge is, truth or lack thereof, wanting to control the truth, information coming out, wanting to control it. Okay? When it comes to democracy, we need to continue to share the message of true spirituality. Okay? And coming together. Now we need to look and see who he's surrounding himself with, and we need to come together. Potential outcome, house of fire. This abuse of power, just burning things down, things being juggled, and then having to look deeper, investigate what's going on with this. When it comes to the family, okay? So he's burning down the house when it comes to families, whether it's just taking away any type of government aid, etc. This abuse of power, separating families, the endings of these things, okay? Wanting to end democracy, wanting to end any kind of programs, things for the people, and a new cup coming in, investigating into a new cup. When it comes to families, endings, okay, we're looking at this new cup. Now, like I said, the one that got turned away in Hawaii is a family. They had just gotten married, and they're barring her from coming in. She's from Australia. Okay? But it's all about Trump and his stupidity about only wanting the wealthy come in here. This is an ongoing struggle for justice, and rapidly more and more concern is coming out when we see something like this. This family, he's ending, he says she cannot come back to the U.S., and she's married to a U.S. citizen. Okay? So this new cup is coming out here. And we see them again, deporting people, separating families, separating children from their mothers, etc. So we have the White House, abuse of power, burning down the house, looking deeper at his lack, his mental lack now, his unconcern. So at the center of it, it's what's being shared. The people holding on to the power and wanting spirituality, wanting democracy. But above it, we have the evidence of what he's sharing with his lies, with his drama. We're struggling when it comes to the lovers, people being separated, etc., and the ones that he's sharing, that he's trying to manipulate and control and dominate information, and again, what he's holding to, what he's gathering and collecting. He is so afraid of the people that are not wealthy. Why? Because they have integrity and honesty. So he only wants to surround himself with those that, again, are criminals, basically. So when it comes to people holding on to their power, we will continue to put out the message about coming together, the truth, etc. Okay? Again, the struggle that we have with all the things that this fool's trying to do. We have the evidence about the White House and his lies, his spins, and his mental lack that's going on now. So when it comes to democracy and spirituality, sharing and trying to juggle these things, okay, investigating his lies, we've got the evidence about his abuses of power, and we need to continue to come together as a collective and address the things that he is doing. They need to take more action when it comes to this. Now, we know that the courts are continue to fight with him with these things, but I'm going to do a little bit more. I'm going to do another clarifying read when it comes to this. So let me get these put in the deck. Again, I want to just shove them in all different places so they're not right next to each other. And give them a good ruffle shuffle, and let's do another clarifying read. Sorry this is so long this morning, but yeah, this is just craziness. So let's see, at the center of it all, we have, the harvest. So what's coming out of this? What about the harvest? Yeah, what they're trying to build. What they're trying to build in the harvest, what's happening with it, needing to temper. Okay. Now we know Trumpenstein wants to temper things. He wants to get rid of any kind of a pushback against him in any way, shape, or form. Okay? So he's trying to build this fascist government. But we have the tower moments with it. Okay? So that's not going well. Tower moments with what he's trying to build, the harvest, and this is moving rapidly. This is coming in rapidly. Again, we have this ongoing fight. Knock down, drag out, get up, we keep pushing forward. We're not going to let this go. And we have the wheel is turning again on his demise when it comes to the things that he's trying to build. Every single reading, the wheel comes out when it comes to what he's doing. Okay? And what's being built rapidly, we want to temper the things that he is doing. And, for a victory. We continue to struggle. knocked down, we get up and we continue to fight. So it comes to the families and all the restrictions that he continues to try to bring in. We've got the new information, the truth about what his desires are, okay? When it comes to his only wanting wealth and power there will be more messages about actions for a victory, that we continue to fight, we continue to share, looking at his manipulations, okay? Quite aware of his manipulations and what's being given out. And the harsh sword of truth, okay, is coming out. Again, this is usually the card for hardcore justice when it comes to the pain that he continues to put people through, and strengthening more compassion, okay? Taking the lid off, seeing what's there when it comes to him trying to control all of the domain. And then we have what's been hidden. So let's see what that is. What's to be revealed about an action going forward. Strong action going forward. Yep. So that's it. We need to continue to fight, stand up for truth when it comes to his deportations and his attempting to put in a fascist government. He goes after everybody and anybody that's not wealthy, that's not a wealthy, white, basically white supremacist mentality of hate and fear and loathing. These despicable men that have no integrity, failed guys. Yeah. So not doing well with that. We need to continue to go forward with the fight and not let up. Continue to have pushback when it comes to his just overstepping their bounds. These border ones. Now his border czar is the most, this guy always looks like he's having lemons. Got the most sour face I've ever seen. Like he just stepped in a whole pile of dog shit. And he's yeah. Not a happy guy, miserable people. So it's just saying, we need to continue to fight with this, continue to push back, continue to stand for truth when it comes to what they're doing with these border situations, and just trying to get rid of anybody that Trumpenstein, that's not putting him on a pedestal and kissing his ass and saying he's the most fabulous thing ever. Okay? The second Jesus Christ. We all need to worship him. He's delusional. Again, he's in mental decline. So just continue to push forward. Sorry this was so long today, but it was, in the beginning I'm looking at this and going, where is this going?